Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, we can't talk yarn without my faithful mug of tea, and I have him here. And today it is just a classic black dye yielding tea that I have made. And yeah, it's just, I guess, a comfy tea. Dye yielding all the way to go. What happened? So the past week, I've finished up a project. Yay. Actually, I should have finished up two, but nay, that didn't happen. The intention was to have blocked and crafted the buttons and sewn them on to have the GingerTea cowl finished. The fact is that did not happen because when I wanted to do that Wednesday, I was too late home from another appointment, and it was just too dark to actually do a decent blocking and light available. So I ended up not doing it. Then I was like, okay, I could have blocked it yesterday, but would I have time enough to block it? And on top, yesterday I had work, and next to that, I just had a less good day, let's put it like that. I wasn't sick, but my body wasn't fit either. I was quite tired. So I ended up not doing much at all, at least crafting wise. What I did do, and this morning, I took myself just a tiny bit of time for it before work, was to finish my rib knit beanie that I had started on last week. And this is the end result, my friends. Isn't this gorgeous? Like, I love this. Like, this way of how the coloring. I'm so happy for whoever suggested that I should definitely pick up the white. This is basically a cappuccino color, double-stranded with a white. Not double-stranded, triple-stranded with a white. Triple-stranded with a variegated yarn that's like having all the colors in, including these sort of darker colors you can see in between. And I have to say, these work up so great together, and it is an absolutely gorgeous hat. So wonderful, soft feeling. It is a super soft yarn. Polyamide definitely helps adding to the softness of this acrylic. It's just gorgeous. I haven't tried it on yet. I should probably do that. But as you can see here, it's just gorgeous. But let's try it on. And I am keen to say I'm not a big hat person, but I'm almost debating if I should keep this one because I freaking love it. Like, the look of this hat is... The pattern I followed is the PassioKnit Kelsie, a rib knit beanie that she makes, the chunky rib knit beanie she makes. The only difference is obviously I used a slightly bit thinner yarn, so therefore I triple stranded. I did not double strand my yarn. But I followed the pattern. What I did do was I did add a few extra stitches to the round because I had the feeling it did not look as quite as thick. I did use 8mm knitting needles, and I added 8 more stitches in total based on everything, and that worked absolutely fine with the decrease. It's perfectly made. I don't know even if you can see it, but yeah, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. And right now I'm like looking at myself and I'm like, girl, that's a hot hat. And it's warm as well, definitely warm. But yeah, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with this, because first I thought, well, I might sell it, but now I'm like, I might keep it because I think this is looking so gorgeous. I used my new knitting needles to knit this up with, which is some cubics or squared knitting needles. I got them off Temu. And I did get some extra short cables, which I used for it. I used the 8mm out here. As you can see, they are cubic squared. Ta-ta. And they are holding quite nice, actually. So I'm definitely considering expanding my cubic knitting needles, in the sense of there's a few others I'd love to add to my supply, but I am not unhappy with this set. They also have a swivel system in the cables, so as you can see, the wire doesn't turn, but only the joints do, which is absolutely gorgeous. There's extension cords and etc. So absolutely perfect. What is I had hoped these were slightly bit shorter, like maybe only like this, because that was what it said in the description, and the result was that they weren't, but that's fine. What I also wanted to try out, and that is my very first ever try out on this, by the way, and I'm gonna take it off because it is really warm. Here we have the crown, looking gorgeous. And the very first time I ever tried finishing up a project with double pointed knitting needles, because yes, I know you can use a magic loop, but it's just a hassle. Need to change cord or wire, then you need to make sure the wire is long enough to make all the loops, because eventually when you get down to a really small section, it's like very stretchy, and what I experience is then that to get it all around, I tend to pull a little bit too much in the yarn to do so. Therefore, the yarn almost getting too tight, the loops too tight to actually go on the needles when I do need to do the next. And it's just, it was a fight, or it has been a fight so far. But in this case, my first time ever, when I got to the part where I had to decrease for the crown, double pointed knitting needles. These are a bamboo. I got a set with multiple in. I do believe I also have like a 9 and a 10 millimeter set and some 7 and etc. further down. But these weren't bad. They're very nice and light. They do have an odor for them in the sense of they probably need some airing, and that could be the coating that it's given on top. They're bamboo, they're light, because when I, in the past, many years ago when I tried double pointed needles, but they were aluminium, I had the feeling the whole project got like weighed down and this slipped out and so on. It doesn't slip as easy on this. And I worked it up quite fine on these double pointed ones. It was a little bit getting used to, but it was not a bad experience. In fact, I would say I was less frustrated with these than I were when I was doing the magic loop. So a future knitting hats or beanies, I might also option to use a double pointed needles for closing them, especially when the closing is at the top, or in any case when you have too few stitches to actually decently have them on your interchangeable needles, circular needles. I used like the shortest connector, which is not far, plus whatever I had round. So that was about 45-ish centimeters in total from tip to tip. Don't ask me how much that is in inches, I'm sorry, but 16, 18, somewhere in between maybe. And then of course I finished up with these. And the end result I'm really happy with. And now when I just had it on, I was like, should I keep this one? I'm not a big hat person, generally. I'm more of a headband person. And I don't have enough yarn left to make a second. I would have to do that differently. So that is, I'll need to think. But originally I thought, yeah, I'll sell this. Now I'm like, I'm not sure, because this is gorgeous. Really, really looking awesome. I like it. I need to think. That's not a bad idea in the sense of, it's not a bad thing to think and to need to think. It's more of a surprise to me. It's a positive surprise. Like I knew it was gonna be good and look good, but it's just better than I had expected. Big kudos to Kelsie for that pattern. Wasn't easy to follow. Yeah, and not the last time I've made it. Definitely not the last time. I do have some different yarns here and there that I might end up double stranding or triple stranding to obtain a lovely chunky rib knit beanie. And it was reasonably quick to work on. So the next project we should talk about is Fleur. Fleur is my mosaic blanket designed by Anke Wintermans. She's a Dutch mosaic blanket designer, or just generally Dutch mosaic designer. She makes absolutely gorgeous patterns. You can find her patterns on Ravelry, including Fleur. So if you just look for Fleur, you would be able to find it. I also linked to the description box down below. And as I said, she made many gorgeous mosaic blankets. So if you are into mosaic crochet, have a look at her patterns. They're gorgeous. And she also links to explanations and guides as to how, if you have never tried mosaic before. This is my first ever mosaic project. Not tried it before, this blanket. Not finished yet because it takes forever. And the sad news is I didn't have time or the energy to work on Fleur this past week, which means I have gotten further behind. I will probably at some stage within the next couple of months sit down and do like a massive sprint on this blanket. Be like, I'm not gonna work on anything else. I need to catch up because I still have a goal to finish a Fleur this year, because it's been 1.5 years in the making now, and it's just because I only work on it when I have time. And now it's so big, I really need space to work on it. I need time to work on it because it's like, even just packing it out now for showing you guys is almost an effort. But here we have it. No progress made, I'm sorry. Next is cream. And then purple, it's called Emperor, etc. And then we will eventually have dark blue added in a few rows. Will I reach to do that in August? I don't know, maybe. I've just come to the conclusion I have all these great intentions for this blanket, and the intentions and the reality is not meeting up. And therefore I may just have to accept that whatever is gonna happen is what's gonna happen, and maybe I won't finish it this year. But honestly, it would be really nice to, just because, right? 2 years for a blanket. I should be quicker than that. But it's because I do everything else at the same time. Like if I only focused on this blanket, I would definitely finish it, even maybe ahead of time. But is that what I want to do? No, because I like, it's warm, I get bored. I like the ability to change between the types of yarn that I work with. Like if I want to work with a woolen yarn, or if I want to work with, in the case I just used a treble strand net, I don't want to only do mosaic crochet. Sometimes I like to do shawls, etc. So, you know, yeah, no. I'm not sure if I could do that. I could probably like focus on it for a week or two max, but only focusing and do nothing else until it's finished, maybe, but not right now. Not in August. The next project is here in my crate is a new shawl in the makes. And that is the Ultimate Sacrifice shawl. I've made the Ultimate Sacrifice shawl before, so that is not in its own a big surprise. I'm using a 3.5mm knitting needles, crochet hook, which is also known as an E-hook. And I am using the Hobbii Azalea yarn in the colorway Royal Command. And that is colorway 6. And it is 52% cotton, 48% acrylic. This is a super soft yarn. It is a 200-gram cake. Not anymore, but 200 grams to 800 meters. So 7 ounces to 800 some odd. 874 yards. I'm using also the leftovers I had from the GingerTea cowl that I finished crocheting on last week. I believe last week, Monday maybe. and I used the ends of the outer edge. So this I used to make the center of the Ultimate Sacrifice shawl. I still have this much left of that color, and I did end up snipping it up and splitting each of the color transitions. So I have 3 here, which is what I have left of the old, plus what I have here. And when I get to the place where the color matches, this would be the lightest of them, where it matches this one, I will attach this one, and you know, like before it color changes again, I will do that to make the shawl bigger. It gives me about a good estimate, a little bit less or a little bit more than 1,000 meters in total, based on what I had left from the other. I might have a bit less left, so 950-ish thousand yards. Oh, sorry, probably estimate. I don't know how it's gonna turn out yet. We'll have to see. In that sense, it's brand new. And this is how far we have gotten, because you can see we are started to change into the darker blues. And we have this dark blue center, so the Ultimate Sacrifice shawl. I worked on it during the live I had this week. I will not bring this with me, so I am leaving next week. Most of the week I'll be in Denmark for my family, to see my family, to help out my parents, mainly my mom, during these hard times. And I won't bring this because obviously it's a center pull. I need to check this into my checked-in luggage, and I'm just afraid it will yarn baffle on me, and that would not make me a very happy person. This, my friends, is gonna have at least a 5-day working break, because I'll be away for 5 days. But I'm happy with how it progressed. I did have time to prepare everything and work for it what I want to say. I prepared and brought it with me when I went to Germany last weekend. And I had the time to work some of it there, which was definitely a good progress, plus whatever I raised to do on the live. So I enjoy the progress so far, definitely do. And another benefit with Ultimate Sacrifice shawl, it's actually a project that I can do on the couch if I'm watching something that doesn't need my 100% attention. So it's also a good couch project for some of the series that I do watch with my partner. Will I reach to finish in August? Time will show, time will show. As I said, I am heading off this weekend to Denmark, and I need to bring some projects with me, and this time I'm only going to bring crochet projects with me there. A while back I only had like a single knit hat, etc. This time I'm bringing just some crochet yarns. I'm bringing two sets of yarns, or 2 projects, just in the event that I have enough time to finish off one and have the time to begin the second. I haven't decided yet which I'll start with. I'll probably make a decision when I'm there. But the one is the Capelina bucket hat or summer hat by Drops Design. And there is where I'm going to use these absolutely gorgeous Drops Cotton Light, which is at 50% cotton and 50% polyester yarn. They are thickness-wise a bit like an 8/6 or a 6/8 cotton. So it's like a thicker DK weight yarn. It's classified as yarn group B by Drops. They recommend 4mm hooks or needles. They say 50 grams, so 1.75 ounces to 105 meters or 115 yards. I have 4 of these, and that should be enough to make the hat. Then the other project I want to bring is also just for a bucket hat. So it's going to be a bucket hat week, coming week. And I am bringing my Linda Hobbii yarns. The yarns I am bringing is the Linda Hobbii 8/8 cotton. in these gorgeous yellows. But I also did find a leftover skein of the white because I think this white works well as well. So I'm not sure yet if I will add the white into the mix. It's just like a possibility that I have and I'm thinking of. But these will definitely be the foundations of one of them. We have here the colorway Soul, which is a colorway of 40. 8/8 cotton, so it's 1.75 ounces to so a 50 gram skein to, let's see here, 80 to 85 meters, which is 87 to 92 yards. Wash at 6 degrees, etc. All of these are the same specs. All of them are the same brand of yarn from Linda Hobbii, and a quite soft cotton, I think. I think it's a wonderful cotton to work with. Definitely not the last time I'm getting this cotton either. Then I have this a lighter yellow, which is the colorway 37, and that is known as Canarino. So we have Soul and Canarino. And then I have a slightly more yellow as well, of a slightly lighter yellow, almost like a cream without, well, it is yellow, but it's almost like a cream. And this is the colorway 21, named a Latte. I'm not really sure if I would call it a coffee latte color, but it's called a Latte. And then of course we have the Bianco, which is a colorway 19, and that's the white one. But yeah, 21, 37 and 40. These are definitely gonna make up a bucket hat. And then I may or may not add the white. I'm not sure, so I'll bring this. It's just a leftover skein, so I haven't used much of it, but I'll definitely bring this with me. Well, I'll bring them all, and those three are gonna be that colors. I haven't really 100% decided which of those I will start with. Depends on my mood. And I'm not also 100% decided on the pattern of bucket hat I'll be making. But there is enough to make one, and that is the most important. And we'll have to see when I'm done. Surprise! Except for that, quick update on my mom is that she hasn't been so well the past week or so. A bit more dizzy than usual. We are going to talk with the doctors about that. But still, I would say she's probably still better than she was a couple of months ago. She is going to get her next treatment, her next chemotherapy treatment on Tuesday. So I will be there, which also means that I will have to spend my time doing something while I'm there waiting, because I'm not allowed to be in the room with her. And if it is dry weather, I am gonna head downtown, and I'm probably gonna check out Hobbii and see if the Hobbii has the seasonal yarns, so the Halloween yarns from Hobbii and the Christmas yarns from Hobbii. Plus, I would be absolutely stoked to see if they have the new merino from Bella Coco in the store. I didn't have the feeling that they had a lot of room to add a lot of extra yarn there though. So I don't know if they got it. We will have to see. I am going to go there and check what they have. And maybe I'll have time to do a bit of recording to bring you guys with me. We'll have to check out. But yeah, that is currently my plan for the Tuesday. And except for that, I'm just gonna be there. I'm gonna help. I'm gonna work as well from my job when I'm there, and hopefully I'm gonna crochet a bit and just hang out and spend some time with my parents. And then when I'm back, we will see what's next. So from here on out, I'm going to say take care. Thank you so much for watching this, and happy crafting. Until I see you again. Bye.